The NFL is hard. It's hard to win. It's harder when you make it difficult on yourself. Offensively, we can't worry about what else happens. We got to be efficient. We got to make the most of the opportunity. I've been in the darkness. You got to go in there, make peace with it. Offensively, our goal has just got to be score 30.
You just look at the New York Jets right now. Devontae Adams is in the house. Garrett Wilson is in the house. Breece Hall is in the house. Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback. And they look absolutely, utterly lost. It makes no sense whatsoever. And we've got 9 games left in the season. And the Jets season is practically over.
How much of the Jets mess is on Rodgers?
All of it. At this point, all of it.
The Jets are the most disappointing team in the NFL this season. Let's break down exactly how this happened for such a promising team. It all started with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's time with the Jets started with high hopes, but quickly turned into a struggle. They drafted him to be their franchise quarterback, and he had a rough start, with erratic play and consistency issues that left Jets fans frustrated. In his first 2 seasons, he threw just 15 touchdowns to 18 interceptions, completing around only 55% of his passes. His struggles ultimately kept the Jets from being competitive in a tough AFC East.
As an offense, though, when you guys are only able to score 3 points, the defense only lets up 3 points. Do you feel like you let the defense down at all?
No.
Those struggles forced the Jets' hand and led them to explore new options at quarterback. Enter Aaron Rodgers. After a challenging season with the Packers where he missed the playoffs for the first time in several years, the organization was ready to move on. Rodgers' last year in Green Bay saw him throw for 3,695 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, the most he'd thrown in a season since 2008. His decline was enough for the Packers to bet on a new future with Jordan Love, leading them to put Rodgers on the trade market and officially pass the torch. The Jets made their move, trading valuable draft picks to the Packers for Rodgers. At the time, this trade was widely seen as a win for the Jets, who believed they were just a quarterback away. The Packers used those picks to select tight end Luke Musgrave, linebacker Edgerrin Cooper, and defensive back Evan Williams. While Luke Musgrave has had a slow start, Cooper and Williams are already emerging as promising rookies for Green Bay. The Jets, meanwhile, got their superstar quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, setting a high expectation for a playoff push. But just 4 snaps into the season, Rodgers went down with an Achilles injury, devastating Jets fans who are eager to see him turn the franchise around. With no choice, the team turned to backup Wilson. To his credit, Wilson managed to go 5-6 as a starter, showing some improvements but ultimately falling short of playoff contention. The Jets' defense stepped up, often keeping them in competitive games, but Wilson's inconsistent performances remained a limiting factor by the end of the season. The high hopes the Jets had from the Aaron Rodgers trade had turned into disappointment. After an injury-filled debut season, the Jets still hoped to see Rodgers return strong, but offseason rumors about his commitment started to surface. Instead of attending OTAs and training camp to get reps with his new weapons, Rodgers opted to a vacation in Egypt. While other starting quarterbacks were building team chemistry, he left most of the reps to Tyrod Taylor, leaving some fans to question his commitment. Rodgers finally returned this season, and the Jets were ready for a fresh start. The team opened with just a 2-1 record, giving fans a glimmer of hope, but things took a downward turn in Week 4 with a rough loss to the Denver Broncos, where Bo Nix just threw 60 yards. The following week, they lost to the undefeated Vikings, and after that, head coach Robert Saleh was dismissed. Although some felt it was too early, the team's struggles were mounting, and the Jets fans were losing patience. However, after Saleh's departure, the Jets' defense just hasn't been the same. The defense was known for its toughness and reliability. The unit struggled under new interim head coach Jeff Oldberg, going from 16.6 points allowed per game to 28.3. The Jets haven't been able to maintain the same intensity. Their recent loss to the Patriots, a team starting a backup quarterback, was a clear sign of just how far the defense has fallen. Losing their defensive identity has only made the Jets' offensive struggles even more glaring. On top of that, Rodgers' influence over the team has raised questions. He encouraged the Jets to hire old friend Nathaniel Hackett as offensive coordinator, despite Hackett's past struggles as head coach for the Broncos. Rodgers also pushed for signings like Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, and Adrian Amos, filling the roster with familiar faces from his Green Bay days. Recently, Rodgers has made it clear he doesn't trust Mike Williams as a reliable target, leading the Jets to trade for Davante Adams. But so far, Adams hasn't made the impact the fans had hoped for, making it seem like the Jets are bending over backwards to appease Aaron Rodgers rather than focusing on building a winning team. While they did have a nice bounce-back win on Thursday against the Texans, at the end of the day this team is 3-6 and at the start of the season had Super Bowl aspirations. With the season slipping away, the Jets have some crucial decisions to make. They still have a strong core of young skilled players and a defense that, while struggling, has talent and potential. They might only be one steady quarterback or an experienced offensive coordinator away from righting the ship, but if Rodgers decides to return in 2025, the presence could complicate things and potentially stall the development of the younger talent. The Jets have the pieces, but finding the right direction is key. So what's the move for the Jets? Do you stick it out with Aaron Rodgers and hope he can pull things together? Or is it time to look for a new quarterback with a fresh start? And let's be honest, the Jets have a chance to do the funniest thing: re-sign Sam Darnold. With a talented roster and a defense that has shown flashes, the Jets don't seem too far off, but they need a strong leadership and consistency to make a serious push. Are they just a few smart decisions away, or does this team need a total reset? Drop your thoughts below. Make sure to like and subscribe for all the latest NFL insights.